Excited now for today's in-studio guest, Lele Sadoughi, prominent accessory designer, fashion designer, all the things. You have so much cool stuff going on right now we can't wait to dive into. I guess, first of all, how do you say your title when people ask?
That is the first question always. First of all, they want to know how to pronounce my name. So my name's Lisa, nickname Lele Sadoughi. Title, I just like to make pretty things.
Yeah, I love it.
You know, when you have your own business, you think you're just a designer, but you're doing everything from filing to selling to PR to marketing to production and design.
Okay, so like when I look at you, like you look fabulous, like just all the things. And then I'm like, there's me that like doesn't really know about. I'm just not very fashionable. I was raised by a man. And so I'm always like fascinated by where your sense of style came from. Because mine came from my father and it is very apparent.
I mean, look at you. You've got a bracelet, necklace,
I do
earrings.
have a bracelet.
You've got
your beautiful
belt.
earrings. Your beautiful earrings.
Our crystal lilies are about to have their 10-year anniversary.
Dude, these are so popular. And they're like timeless.
I mean, I like
10-year
to
anniversary,
think so.
yeah.
Lightweight and statement.
Yeah, they're awesome. Okay, so where did your fashion?
Where did it come from?
Yeah.
I hear all these stories of designers and they say, you know, my mother, I went through her closet and did all of this. And my mom does not have a big jewelry collection. I mean, she's got some real stuff. I love all the costume, big, crazy baubles. And I think that at a really young age, I had a passion for drawing, photography, collage work, anything creative, anything that I could get myself busy doing. And you know, I had an idea when I was really little to collect all the stamps, and every day after school while I was watching Oprah and having a snack, I would put the stamps down and I made a collage, and it took me forever. So yes, I'm doing accessories now, but I think it's really about putting things together that are pretty. And when I, moved here and did my home and did different things. So I started in apparel, kind of moved into trims, got into accessories, and I love just the finishing touches.
Wow.
So,
and a lot of people know you for the headbands, right?
They do. Mm-hmm.
And so our sweet producer, Jasmine, who is the one that was just like, I have to connect you guys, with Lele. She's the one that kind of gave us our stuff. We have to like pull back the curtain a little bit.
Yes.
Yes. Like Emily's earrings are so Emily.
They're so me.
And I kind of have an ongoing, I'm similar to Emily to where I'm not a big, I don't know, I throw stuff on. I'm usually in a hurry.
Well, that's why headbands are great.
Yes.
You don't have to do your hair.
Right. It is amazing. However.
And you're wearing the Shirley, named after Shirley Temple.
Aww.
And it's got a sweet bow.
Oh,
and
I love
she's just classic chic and feminine.
So just to pull back the curtain a little bit, when I walked in from the bathroom after putting it on, they both just started laughing at me, making fun of me. I mean, short of calling me names. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But I don't, how do you properly style a headband?
I want to see what you normally wear because you've got a flowered dress on and a bow. It all works.
She's very girly. You. Well, but she came in and it looked a little
like Minnie Mouse,
bowy.
Oh, you had to
yes
to
tame it.
The velvet, you got to tame it. You got to you need to make it feel effortless. So I'm wearing the little bow. She's the Bardot after Brigitte Bardot.
So cute.
Because what I wanted is I want to do the work for you. So yeah, you could look silly if you try and tie the perfect bow and you could look like Minnie Mouse, or it could stick up and you could look like a little doll. But if we do it for you and it drapes perfectly, all we have to do is throw it on. You don't even need a mirror.
Okay. I love it. I love it.
Look how cute it looks.
Yeah,
it adorable
I think so. I love it. And I tried to dress to match because I had seen a picture of it.
Yes.
So I feel like I did okay.
You did awesome.
I think you did. We have a starter headband, our classic knotted, and our slim headband.
I need the starter pack.
Sometimes it's an internal struggle. While you looked very natural, I think you're getting used to it.
Yeah,
I am.
So I'm going to get you the starter pack.
I love it.
Thank
That's
you.
amazing.
I need the starter pack for everything in life.
Seriously.
You're going to be coming back for the crystals.
I'm going to set my goals high. Aspirations.
So how did you turn this love of pretty things and creating them into a brand, a business, and seeing all the success that you've had? How have you kind of kept that train rolling?
I mean, if I ever anticipated where I am now and what I thought I was going to be, I could never have imagined. I think that I'm very lucky that I found what I was passionate and good at. Because sometimes people don't even find those things together.
That combination, it's hard.
Yeah. And so I knew I always wanted to do something creative. And I ended up studying advertising. So I didn't actually specifically study fashion. I wanted something that was a bit analytical, a bit creative, kind of a combination. And so I ended up going into fashion right after school. I was in LA, New York for 20 years, all over the place.
Where'd you go to school?
I went to University of Texas
Nice.
in Austin, studied advertising there, and then moved to LA, worked for a designer for a few years, went to London, New York. So I think that besides my education at university, working for these really big corporate companies was a complete education, which taught me how to do something. So for 15 years or so, being at J. Crew or being at Rebecca Taylor, Tory Burch, all these places really prepared me to do my own thing. And that's the biggest advice that I give to anybody is you can get a free education. Well, you get paid if you work, right? But the amount of things that you can learn, how to source something, production, what something should cost, how to merchandise. I knew how to design, but I didn't think that being around all these other aspects of the company would really set me up for success when I started my own line.
So we have a lot of female entrepreneurs, mom entrepreneurs. I made up the word momtrepreneur. Maybe I didn't make it up, but I like
definitely
it.
did not make that up.
I just said maybe I
Let's
didn't
just
make
go
it
with
up,
it.
but I like
you
it.
should take credit for it.
I like it. We like learning about the behind the scenes of it all. Like you mentioned, it's like you have a good idea, you have something that people love, and it quickly catches on, and then all of a sudden you find yourself having to manage all of the things around it. And we're, like we told you before we started, we're 5 years in, and we've been having to do that along the way too. And you have to assess what can you do, what can't you do, delegating, everything. So I guess I'm just kind of wondering your take on it all. Is it figure it out as you go, or it seems like your growth is happening fast. How are you managing it all as a business owner and not just the designer?
I think one of the biggest things is letting the business dictate where you are and not having to grow too quickly. And from the beginning, having a really lean team, not taking investments, growing at your own pace really provides for longevity in the big picture. So starting out, this was 2011 and I was starting and I was going to show to Neiman Marcus. And I remember my husband's like, you also need a website. And remember, this is before Instagram. This was a while ago. And so really just kind of getting that ready before, taking it one step at a time. And I was able to secure all these orders from wholesalers, use that amount that I was guaranteed to buy, the whole jewelry for the season or the headbands or whatever it is. And so I had that kind of security. And I think that balance has really helped kind of grow in a very stable way.
So have you maintained 100% ownership of?
Yeah.
You have. How awesome is that? And how nice does that feel knowing that you've been able to do it without having to rely on outsiders?
And I had 2 kids in the first 2 years.
Yeah.
So I'm still tired.
Yeah. Aren't we all? How old are they now?
10 and 12.
Okay. And those are fun ages. Mine are 13 and 11 and they're fun. Boys, girls?
Boy and a girl.
Okay. Older boy?
Older boy,
younger girl,
6th grade, younger girl in 4th grade.
That's exactly like mine, but we're 7th and 5th. But it's fun. Do they get along? I always am curious about this because people are like, oh, boy and a girl, they'll get along and no, they won't compete.
They love and loathe each other.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
it's
a good way.
Still waiting for the love in my house. It's a lot of loathing.
It's a little of both. But yeah, they're annoyed with each other, but then they save little treats for each other. So.
Yeah.
I'm the same boy than girl, and I would say they're the exact same as that. You love and you loathe. So how, obviously you've been busy the whole time since they were born. How have you guys handled that as a family, balanced it? And what do you tell them about sometimes I can't be there after school. I can't be at this program. I can't be at this. I can't be at that because I'm in New York building an empire. How do you manage those conversations and that kind of day-to-day life?
I mean, that's a good question because it is managing. And I will say I could never do it all and never get it all done. And I think that's the first thing that you have to accept is that when you're there, you're present. And when you're not there, you make it quick. So I take the 6 a.m. flights out to New York and when I take the last flight home. and make it quick and like pack it all in. And so I'll go, maybe 3 days at a time, and then I'm back and I'm present. And I think they're used to that because they've only seen me as working. And so sometimes, you miss out on things, but I think that they see special things of what you do, and they realize they can do something special too.
Yeah.
I get my daughter to do a little like tween jewelry line.
Oh yeah, that's fun. I have a friend who, I don't know if you know her, Brooke Wright. She has Brooke Wright Designs. She does like like dresses and tops, and anyway, she's super talented. And her oldest daughter, Olivia, is like super, like leans that way, and she's had her do some designs and stuff like that. I think that's so cool for like that mother-daughter
we've done some
experience.
campaigns together, photo shoot campaigns for Lily Pulitzer and Roller Rabbit and Love Shack Fancy and Barbie. And so she's a really good resume, actually.
Yeah.
I'd say so.
Exactly.
She might get hired by her mom
I
someday.
know.
Yeah. Well, we trade for toys.
Yeah, here you go. Was there a moment that you were like, holy shit, this is going to work, and it's going to work really well?
No, I'm still like, I might be like, holy shit, what's happening? I don't know. Is this working? As much as you have a high, then you have to worry about the next day. And I think that's kind of the reality. But I still get so excited, when I walked in here and saw both of you lovely ladies accessorized in Lele. And that's fun. And it's especially fun to just see people in the wild on the street wearing something and feeling good.
Yeah.
So can we talk about like the evolution of?
And don't be afraid to drink your wine. We drink
Oh,
during the
let's-
show.
Cheers.
Let's take a break in the action.
Yes.
We can all have a sip.
Celebrate all day.
Yes, exactly.
That's our plan. So just kind of the evolution of it all, like what accessory was first and how, I guess, rapidly have you kind of expanded, and what all is there now that we could find if somebody's just being exposed to you and wants to go explore?
Yeah. A lot of people, as you mentioned, know me as the headband queen, but I started as jewelry. I've been doing jewelry for a long time. I was at J. Crew. I launched the jewelry there. I was there for many years. Also design director at Tory Burch for jewelry. So that's what I know really well. I've also done trims, and I think that kind of...
Okay, what's trims?
Trims, buttons, ribbons, bows, anything that goes on your outfit, like little ruffles, little lace trims, little button, all
I
those
didn't even
kind
know that was like a specialty.
of- Yes.
Trims. Okay.
Imagine doing trims full time.
No.
Oh, wow.
So mentally going from apparel to the fit and the pattern making and the cut and the sew and all that to the adornments, if you will, was a total like mental shift in design, of which I never like veered from, because to me that is accessories, right? It's kind of adding the little pieces on top that really personalize and customize a look. So I love a good tailored piece. And like this, linen dress right here, I could wear it like 50 times over. Maybe one time I wear it with a belt or with a different like collar, or one time with a bunch of different jewelry. So it's like a blank canvas that I get to accessorize.
Okay, so what's your husband like? What's it been like for him to, kind of be on the sidelines cheering you on, and
He's more than on the sidelines. I mean, he's been a really great support. He didn't ask for this business, but he kind of had to fall into it. And when I said earlier that he's like, you need to build a website, and he's in finance, worked, in Rock Center for 25 years, and we're in, New York for a really long time, just moved back here in Dallas a couple years ago. And so he's uniquely suited to kind of start a business and do, the P&L overall, like budget. So he does a lot of high level strategy, and our leases to our stores. We have 5 stores right now. So there's a lot of things that he's kind of entangled in, like it or not.
Yeah. Okay, so how many team members do you have now?
In the corporate office, we're in New York. There's about 15, but I have the 5 stores. So there's like, I don't know, under 50 people in all corporate. So a lot, plus a lot of freelancing, whether it's PR, people that do our ad budget. So lots of help and support.
Do you have like a right-hand person, like like this person can kind of fill in the blanks for you, can finish your sentences, knows what you need, or do you?
I wish I had a twin. There's a lot of accessory or jewelry companies where it's like two sisters working together. So sometimes I wish I had a twin.
Yeah.
Certain things.
Yeah.
So no, it's you.
It's mainly
Yeah.
you.
I say my whole sentence.
Yeah.
And there's value to that too, right? There's value to that.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me about that move from New York to Dallas. What factors kind of led to that? And oh my gosh, like what different settings to be a business owner?
That was a really big change. It was something where for our family, we have a lot of family in Dallas. I grew up here, whether it's my two sisters, my parents, my 7, 8 cousins, plus all of their kids. And between their kids and my kids, you know, there's over 21 of them. And so they have multiple cousins in their grade, in school.
How
and it was
fun.
just an easy transition for them. For me, maybe a little different. I'm used to the hustle and the bustle and running around and doing this and getting to places and meetings and all the time. And like I told you guys earlier, it is a lot of calls and videos and Zoom. I think we've gotten so much more used to working from anywhere, which is amazing. But I think it is also important to be kind of face to face.
Yeah. Well, I know
that's
why
been a
we
bit
were
of a
grateful you were
transition.
here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm happy. Like I have this
Yeah.
huge office in Dallas versus, you know, in New York, you're a bit challenged for real estate. And I have all these people in New York in a smaller space, and my office here in Dallas is usually myself in a really big space.
Yeah.
So how do you keep the creative juices flowing, and how, when you talk about, this piece being like one of the staples of, about to celebrate a 10-year anniversary, how do you continue to evolve? And then what kind of goals, as you have experienced so much success, how do you continue to set those for yourself?
When I started as a jewelry company, and then I expanded into sunglasses, like jeweled glasses, fun pieces like that,
Okay.
like my props right here.
Yes. Yeah. Show those off.
I will.
Please.
So we've got these are like kind of our Elton, Elton.
Yes.
ones.
Oh, yeah.
Our
So
big
cute.
fun ones, right?
So
A little bit
fab.
of crystal, a little bit of silver.
Yes.
Right.
Okay. Okay.
On a rain jacket to brighten up a cloudy day.
I mean, I feel like I just need to hire you as my stylist.
I would be happy
I think you're
to style
probably
you.
too expensive for me.
You know what?
But
If you come to our stores in Highland Park Village, we'll style you. That's part of
Okay.
what we do.
okay, I'm definitely a blank canvas, honey. I am as blank
That is our
as the
most
canvas gets.
fun customer. Someone who comes in who wants
Yeah.
help, wants to try something on. Like I'll take that challenge any day. I think
Yeah.
it's really
For
fun.
sure. Okay, show us what else you have too, though.
So I've got this is our clementine bag,
It's so cute.
and if you want to,
Okay.
So cute.
doesn't
I
that
gotta take
sound
a pic.
good?
It is. It's
I love
so
the
cute.
sound of her.
Yeah.
She's really cute.
And you name everything. So everything has a
Yeah.
name.
Everything has a name.
Okay, I love
mean,
that
our knotted
too.
headbands are knotted headband. But yes, you've met
Right.
Shirley, Clementine, and Elton so far.
Okay. Okay.
Who else am I
They're all
wearing,
babies,
too?
huh?
And this is just like the scalloped necklace. So not everything has a very cool name.
Right.
And the dome earrings. But I did mention our Bardot headband.
Yes.
And I also want to mention, too, because we're in Dallas, obviously we have the license for MLB, NBA, and NFL. And
Which is huge because that's an undertaking to get those licenses.
it is.
Yeah.
It really is. And then here's our Rangers one, which I love. The
So
embroidered
cute.
Rangers,
Cute.
little Texas charms and the T charms, a little bit of crystal on here. So
Have you given these to the players' wives?
we have
Okay.
found a lot of wags
Okay.
that we've gifted to.
Yeah.
But if you guys have any friends,
Oh
that
my gosh.
are-
Have you met Claire Smith?
Oh my gosh, y'all have to
You
meet.
have to.
Can we
she's
have
like,
them on together and have
Oh, my
Claire
goodness.
is like
the meeting?
I'll send her a little care package.
Claire is like the
adorable.
queen of the bows, or headbands or whatever, and
Oh.
she's adorable. And she just announced she's pregnant, but she's adorable. Yeah, I can definitely put you in touch. I'm sure.
Cute and
like,
with little
they
baby
would
shower
love it.
headbands.
Oh
I mean, I
my
can help her
gosh.
out with anything that she
Well, and Maddie Seeger's another one that's a good friend of ours, and she's pregnant
Oh.
also.
So I just debuted some fascinators, a baby pink and a baby blue.
oh,
Cute little
okay.
showers.
That's yep.
Wouldn't that be really
That would be really cute. Yeah, I will. I'll put you in touch with them. They're super sweet
I
girls.
would love that.
Yeah, and we want to hear also too. You're about to have a new release thing.
Yes. Our Liberty of London, which
Okay.
is super popular, ditzy florals. We get a lot of the collaborations we do when we work with the company with Liberty of London, we buy their actual fabric. So sometimes people screen print or whatever, but we bought it and used it to make some really incredible little bow scrunchies and headbands with little pearls hand sewn and little crystals. and it's a really sweet group. So
Yeah, and
perfect
that
for
debuts
spring.
like right now.
right now, today.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
so fun.
So exciting.
So, obviously, you're such a creative brain, creative person, and this is something I think that I try to sort through too. But how do you like go through life and figure out what could be a piece of jewelry or an earring or a line, and what could not be? Because I imagine you go through and you look at this and you look at that and you look at the sunset and everything could be something. How do you kind of go from those ideas to an actual concept that you can put on your body?
Sometimes you got to throw a lot of things out there and see what sticks. Like to your question before, where did you? I started in jewelry, doing sunglasses, and then I kind of veered off showing you my glasses. But the next thing I did was headbands, and I had no idea that would be such a force of a category as big as my jewelry category, because at the time I was already selling to Neiman's and Saks and Bloomies and Nordstrom with my jewelry, and there were no headbands in any of those stores. Mm-hmm. There were only like 3 headbands on Amazon at the time, and I had a little baby girl and my son, and I ended up like kind of taking her little headbands because I have very fine hair and I needed to kind of be polished in a pinch, if you will. And I didn't have time to do my hair or look good. So I would throw something on. And at the same time, I was making this jeweled monodier. And it kind of clicked where I asked, the guy helping me produce it, could you do these pearls, but could you do it on a headband? And he never really did headbands. And so tried it. And normally how I said I have the investment of my wholesalers before I commit to something. The wholesalers were like, I don't know, I haven't bought, Neiman's didn't even buy headbands since the 80s, like forever.
So you brought the headband revolution back.
did.
I mean, I'd like to say that.
I
I'd like
think
to
you
say
can
that I
say
brought
that.
it back. And
Polished in a pinch.
That's
polished in
crazy.
a pinch.
Amazing.
I know, but that's crazy. Like you see headbands everywhere and you're kind of responsible for it.
So it was a few things happening, right? I think it's about work, opportunity, exposure, so many different things.
Right.
So I had a need because I had little kids and I just didn't have time to do anything. So I started wearing them. And, now you think about Instagram where you're like, I'm just going to wear it every day. It's going to look like it's part of me. It's going to be my thing. I was just wearing them because I was surviving and I was waking up and, not sleeping, doing whatever I was doing. And this factory person said they could do it and I made it. And I was like, these are kind of cute. So I started wearing them thinking, okay, should I buy them? And that was like a big risk for me because I remember I had 6 styles and I bought 600 headbands. And I've sold like hundreds of thousands and if not a million headbands by this point. I don't even know. I actually should look up that
You should
information.
Look that up. Yeah.
And so I, started wearing them and made the commitment to buy those first 600 units without any support of wholesale because it takes them. Who's the buyer? Is it my hat buyer? Is it my jewelry buyer? Like who's going to buy this? How are they going to support it? And about 8 months later, and then Prada goes down the runway wearing these padded headbands.
Wow.
And then all the editors are like, I love headbands. And I had them in market. I already had them for sale. So it's so much about different opportunity, timing of when you're doing things, everything. And, at the time, really no one else was doing this. Now there's definitely a lot of people doing it.
Yeah.
But, I feel like we have the most exciting partnerships and collaborations and the widest assortment. So.
Right.
So who's the coolest person that you've seen other than Julie and I wearing your obviously wearing your pieces, whether it's wearing your
I think
accessories?
my most exciting collaboration is Sarah Jessica Parker.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
Because she's a fashion mama.
Yeah.
And we're neighbors in New York. Our stores are next to each other on Bleecker
Carrie?
Street. Like, no big deal.
Crazy.
Oh my gosh, that's insanity.
Such a New York moment that she just walked across to our store and was like, can you guys do shoe clips? And I met her and I was like manifesting this. I was like, yes, I can. I'll make whatever
I can do anything you want me to do, Sarah Jessica Parker.
And can we do a matching accessory to every shoe clip? Because she was making the shoes at the time. And so that was just a real organic, awesome moment that was not about, that was just, she
just from above. Yeah.
She wanted it. I was like, this is perfect. And I had been making these shoe clips First of all, everyone in my office who's under the age of 30 doesn't even know what a
A
shoe clip is.
Julie, do you know what a shoe clip is? She has no clue.
Oh my God.
And I'm way older than 30.
Listen, I'm with you.
Do you know?
Well, I mean,
do you wear
Yeah,
shoe clips?
I did.
Okay, wait. Can
on my-
I
So
guess?
it's like a clip-on earring.
Yeah.
But it's on your shoes.
And it's
I
on your shoes. So like I have these here and you
Yeah.
put them on the front so it looks like a big crystal ball or a big
So
bow.
I only
Okay.
wore shoe clips on my dyeable shoes. Do you remember dyables?
Oh, you had to have a matching. Why?
You had to have. I don't know.
Do they even do that now? I mean, I think
surely
I did for
not.
my
There was.
wedding.
I grew up in West Texas.
You get
so I grew up
plain
in Plainview.
satin
Oh,
shoes.
they're
little
all
kitten
white, and then
heels.
you take your dress, and they will dye your shoes to match.
Oh,
I re-
cool.
but
like
then-
literally dye a bowl.
They.
I thought that
dyeable.
was the brand, like dye.
No, they
Dye.
literally
Okay.
dyed these shoes.
Yes. Oh,
and
how
then if you wanted to set it off,
Should we bring that back?
yes. And then if you wanted to set it off, you had shoe clips. And that's what really like
I mean, that is
Woo.
ultimate customization.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
what we strive for.
dyeable shoes.
Can I tell you what my daughter did this morning? Because I got her some new shoes online.
Did she make shoe clips?
So we had a bracelet.
Okay.
Anna's very creative. So we had.
Does she want to work for Lele Sadoughi?
Sure, she's only 6.
Okay.
Give me an
We might
advisor.
have to work through some child labor laws.
She
but
could be your advisor,
but
youth advisor.
so we had a bracelet that I got her to commemorate our 2 cats that are in heaven, and it broke, and it was the bracelet broke. The bracelet you're supposed to use
what
to
you do with the
remember the cats
beads,
that have
yeah.
died, right?
Yeah.
So it's very ominous. It's like,
Yeah.
this is terrible. And so I've been holding on to the beads to try to figure out what to do with them. And this morning I got her some new shoes from the Children's Place sale online that popped up on
Okay.
my Instagram one night.
On her shoelaces?
She took the bead from the
knew.
cat thing and on the very front part of the shoe. She was like, "Hang on, Mom." And I'm like, "We got to go to school." And she's like, "Hang on, Mom." Puts the bead from the thing on her dang shoe and off she goes. And
That is what it's all about.
Okay.
And I mean, I'm wearing a brooch on my waist right now.
oh, it's so
you know
cute
what?
though.
Wear things.
Is that
you wanna
Buddha?
Wear them. Yeah.
Oh, that is
It's my little jeweled thing.
I love
That's super
it.
cute.
That
I
is
got
so
this
fun.
from the auction of Iris Atfel, like my, person that I'd be so excited. Like she's just the jewelry maven, accessories maven, and I was bidding on all these things, so she's very special.
Oh, that's awesome. And then you've got a little buddy with you all day.
Yeah, exactly.
Just lean down and talk
But
to him, buddy.
what I make is not like necessary like shoes and clothes. It is so emotional, and it is just it can express your personality. And I truly believe that when you spend and you keep enough time for yourself to look good, to brush your hair, to put something on, to put on some shiny earrings or do something, then you just have a little bit more confidence in your step. And
You do.
just feel good.
Yeah, you do. And it's almost like I shouldn't make this analogy. I was going to make
Well, now you have to.
Yeah,
liken
you
it.
do.
It's kind of like sex. Sometimes you're just like, this is going to be some work. This is going to be some work.
I'm so sorry for him.
But the outcome is
but
worth it.
afterward, you're like, I'm so glad I did that.
Yeah.
I feel so good. This is awesome.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh
Totally.
She's acting so shocked. This is very in line with my personality.
Well, I mean, I'm looking at you're wearing your very floral demure outfit with a bow.
my god. I am.
And
I am. I
And,
don't
and
even-
you're wearing like your collar and you're just like ready to talk
She's ready to talk sex.
with your stud bracelet.
No, but I feel like that analogy can be applied in a lot of places. Like it seems like a lot of work, but once you get to it, it's like, okay, this is nice.
Yes.
Better
and then you're
better than
done.
going to sleep.
And then you're done, and it's like, wow, that
But
was
you know what? I'm
amazing.
going to go even a step farther on your analogy. The journey and the work, could be like also enjoyable too. Right?
The stuff
Like,
leading up to
the stuff leading up
The-
to
yes.
it, which I'll talk
We're-
in the accessories
go.
world. Just putting things together is so fun. Like I put this brooch on. I'm like, okay, well now I want to wear a pearl necklace, and I don't want too much pearls. I'm going to do silver to go back to the crystal on the brooch, and it was just a whole thought process. And
Right.
it was a lot of work.
Yes.
but it was kind of fun.
And look at the finished product.
I'm super inspired.
Amazing.
now.
So
I feel like my husband's been paying y'all.
So basically, sex and accessories are awesome.
Thank you.
Accessories.
Accessories. I like it.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh my
Well,
gosh,
I'm
that's
glad you didn't-
hilarious.
I'm glad you weren't yours.
I'm sure somebody's coined that one.
Probably.
Because I'm sure there are plenty of those.
And they're not the things that I make.
No, we just
Different.
want to be clear.
Yes.
We just want to be clear.
Okay, well, Lele, thank you so much for being with us. This was so fun.
so fun.
I'm so glad we got to get in a sex analogy before you left.
Yeah, happy to.
I know. You're awesome.
And I'm
Julie's
sorry
mortified.
for her. I have one more practical question because I
Okay.
feel like what you just said.
She needs to get us back to center.
Was
She's a little
important.
concerned about the sex talk.
No, because it's still kind of at that same, yes, but it's still kind of that same.
Well, we're having wine too early in the day.
Exactly. It's still kind of that along the same lines of what we were discussing. But you mentioned how important it is to kind of feel good and to or whether it's accessorizing, putting in the headband, dressing up. And I feel that very hard because it's so easy to not. And it's so easy to wear your sweats and it's wear your Ugg slippers and go do whatever and say, if you see me like this, sorry, this is who I am. This is how I'm feeling. So as somebody who's very, very busy, I want to know how you like budget that time out and how you do it because you do look amazing and you've got so many wonderful things to choose from. What advice, I guess, would you give to a simpleton about making sure that you look good, feel good?
Well, you need a daughter that will organize your closet. First of all, she did all my headbands yesterday in my closet. And I think when you see things, there's two types of people. There's the person that wakes up and dreads and is like, I just want a uniform. I don't want to think about it. Then there's the other person who's like, oh, what's my mood today? It's raining, but like, I need some pepping up. I'm going to wear yellow or I'm going to do this. I'm the latter person. So if you are a true uniform person, that's probably who you're going to be. And maybe you find something you like, just buy it in every color because stay true to that. If you are the person that wakes up and is curious and likes to explore and change things around, I really think it will just affect the rest of your day. And you can do it in 5 minutes. And sometimes my secret is sometimes you just throw on a bunch of denim. You're wearing your denim jumpsuit, which is perfect. And I love to just put on a white button down or put on like a chambray shirt or something like that. And don't reserve crystals for the night. Add your crystals.
I love it.
I don't care if you're wearing jeans and a t-shirt. You can put on some big earrings.
Well,
because
because I was thinking like that would look super cute with like jeans and
Did
a
I give
white
you an
button
idea
down.
for an
You
outfit?
You did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's not even about your outfit. You could wear the same thing every day and change it around through a belt or a headband or sunglasses or earrings or something. And I think that, honestly, I think those are so much more fun than apparel
Or shoe clips.
or
Or
shoe clips.
I love it. I'm inspired.
Yes.
And that's great advice because I think it does. It sometimes affects your mentals, right? If you're always
Yeah.
in your frumpy clothes.
Look good, feel good.
Yeah, exactly.
And my mother will say, don't forget your lipstick.
Oh, yeah. I love that.
Yes.
My mom would say the same thing. Always red
My
lipstick.
dad didn't really ever say that, but I do try to put on lip gloss.
You've got good gloss going.
Well, Lele, thank you so much for
Yeah.
being with us. We truly appreciate it. Best of luck in all that you do. We
Yeah.
have no doubt you're going to continue to be fabulous.
So fun.
And
Where
we'll-
can people find you, your stores, and how can they buy stuff?
Well, in Dallas, we're at Highland Park Village. The black and white striped awning, you'll find us. And online, lelesadoughi.com. And follow us on Instagram. As you were saying earlier, we've got a ton of drops. Like every week, we've got something new coming and just adding a little bit of joy to your life. Sometimes you never know you need it until you see what it is.
Okay, let's do a
Love
quick
it.
cheers, and then
Okay.
we end every episode. Cheers.
Cheers.
Bye. As cheesy as it is, you look into your camera. Yours is right there. We throw up the peace signs, and we say, Mom, game out.
Okay.
On the count of 3.
Let me get my hands ready.
You ready? 1,
Yeah.
2, 3. Mom, game out.